Alexander III of Macedon, known to history as Alexander the Great, became one of the most legendary military leaders of all time. In just over a decade, he forged an empire stretching from Greece to Egypt and India, the largest the ancient world had ever seen. His brilliance in strategy, his boldness in battle, and his dream of a united world under Hellenic culture made him a figure of enduring fascination and inspiration. Welcome to Chronicles and Conquerors, where history's greatest empires, leaders, and battles come to life. From the rise of ancient civilizations to the legends of conquerors who shaped our world, every story here is crafted to inspire, educate, and ignite your curiosity. Subscribe and step into the past to uncover the power, glory, and lessons of history's greatest figures. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in Pella, the capital of the ancient kingdom of Macedon, to King Philip II and Queen Olympias. From birth, he was destined for greatness. His father, a master strategist who united Greece under Macedonian dominance, and his mother, a fiercely ambitious woman who claimed descent from Achilles himself. Ancient biographer Plutarch, in his Life of Alexander, describes how even as a boy, Alexander displayed a fiery spirit and a thirst for glory. At age 13, he was tutored by the philosopher Aristotle, who instilled in him a deep love for knowledge, science, philosophy, and Greek culture. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied literature, geography, and ethics, developing a vision of spreading Greek civilization beyond the Aegean. This fusion of intellectual curiosity and royal ambition would shape the man who dreamed of conquering the world. Even as a teenager, Alexander showed early signs of leadership and courage. At just 16, while his father was away on campaign, Alexander crushed a Thracian revolt and founded a city named Alexandropolis in his own honor. At 18, he commanded the Macedonian cavalry at the Battle of Chaeronea, helping secure Greece under Macedonian rule. In 336 BCE, tragedy struck when Philip II was assassinated, possibly in a palace conspiracy. At only 20 years old, Alexander ascended to the throne. Immediately, he faced revolts across Greece, as city-states like Thebes and Athens sought to regain independence. Alexander responded swiftly and decisively, marching south with relentless speed and destroying Thebes as a warning to others. Within months, all of Greece had reaffirmed allegiance to him. He then turned his eyes eastward toward the Achaemenid Persian Empire, the greatest superpower of the known world. Philip had long planned a campaign to avenge earlier Persian invasions of Greece. Now Alexander would fulfill and far surpass that vision. Before crossing into Asia, Alexander consolidated his control at home. Through diplomacy and military might, he secured the loyalty of the Greek states. At the Council of Corinth, he was appointed commander-in-chief of all Greek forces for the invasion of Persia. His Greek campaign was not only political but symbolic, a declaration that the Greek world would now march as one against their ancient enemy. To ensure order, he installed loyal governors, satraps, founded new cities, and kept local elites under Macedonian supervision. His combination of fear, respect, and charisma created a fragile but effective unity that would fuel his eastern ambitions. In 334 BCE, Alexander led some 40,000 troops across the Hellespont into Asia Minor, beginning his legendary campaign against King Darius III of Persia. Before stepping onto Asian soil, he cast a spear into the land, declaring it won by the spear, a symbolic claim of conquest. Alexander's first major victory came at the river Granicus, where his forces defeated a Persian satrap army despite being heavily outnumbered. He personally led the cavalry charge, narrowly escaping death when a Persian noble nearly struck him down before being saved by one of his officers. This battle secured Asia Minor and demonstrated his tactical genius. A year later, Alexander confronted Darius III in person at Issus in modern-day Turkey. The narrow terrain neutralized the Persian numerical advantage, allowing Alexander's phalanx and cavalry to break through enemy lines. Darius fled the battlefield, abandoning his family whom Alexander treated with royal respect, showcasing his magnanimity as a conqueror. After sweeping through Syria and Phoenicia, Alexander faced the fortified island city of Tyre, which resisted for 7 months. His engineers constructed a massive causeway to breach the city's walls, a testament to his determination and innovation. From there, he marched into Egypt, where he was hailed as a liberator from Persian rule. In 331 BCE, he founded Alexandria, which would become a center of learning, trade, and culture for centuries. The priests of Amun declared him the son of Zeus Ammon, affirming his divine right to rule. The final confrontation with Persia came at Gaugamela in modern Iraq. Facing perhaps 250,000 Persians with only 47,000 men, Alexander's superior tactics, discipline, and mobility won the day. Once again, Darius fled soon after he was assassinated by his own men. The Achaemenid Empire was no more. Alexander entered Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis, where he symbolically burned the Persian capital, avenging Greece's past humiliations at Xerxes' hands. Whether this act was vengeance or excess, it marked the symbolic end of Persia's glory. After conquering Persia, Alexander pressed eastward into Central Asia and India. His victories at the Hydaspes River against King Porus in 326 BCE marked the farthest reach of his empire. Impressed by Porus's bravery, Alexander granted him his kingdom back as a loyal vassal. Yet exhaustion, harsh terrain, and monsoon rains forced his army to turn back. They had marched more than 11,000 miles conquering lands from the Aegean to the Indus. In 323 BCE, at only 32 years old, Alexander died in Babylon under mysterious circumstances, possibly fever, poisoning, or exhaustion. Ancient historians Plutarch and Arrian describe his final days as marked by fever and weakness, though his exact cause of death remains unknown. His death left a power vacuum. His generals, known as the Diadochi, divided the empire among themselves, yet his legacy endured for millennia. Alexander's empire spread Hellenistic culture, a blend of Greek, Persian, Egyptian, and Indian traditions across 3 continents. Cities like Alexandria became centers of art, science, and philosophy. His tactics, from the use of the phalanx to coordinated cavalry maneuvers, are still studied in military academies worldwide. From Caesar to Napoleon, countless leaders have invoked his name as the ultimate model of ambition and conquest. Alexander's dream was more than conquest, it was unity. He envisioned a world where East and West blended, where people were ruled not by fear, but by shared purpose. Though his empire fractured, his vision shaped the world that followed. Alexander the Great's life was a symphony of courage, intellect, and destiny. He lived not as a man, but as a force of nature reshaping history in little more than a decade. His journey from the palaces of Pella to the deserts of Persia stands as one of the most extraordinary human stories ever told. Thank you for watching Chronicles and Conquerors. If you enjoyed this journey through the life and campaigns of Alexander the Great, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating empires and leaders. Until next time, keep conquering knowledge.